is Santos Deck, and I'm here to bring you guys another Starcraft commentary. This matchup is going to be between Frozean for STX and Really, who is from Woongjin Stars. This is going to be a TVT matchup, and in green at the 7 o'clock position is Really, and in the 2 o'clock position, yes, in red is Frozean, our Terran player, and in the past 3 games he has been really good in terms of countering the other opponent and just playing really smart. This matchup is going to be on Mancha, and first of all I like to say that I hate TVT. It's one of those matchups where positioning is all that matters, and to be honest, it's really boring to just watch each player jog for position, especially on this map, La Mancha. It's actually a very open map, and the second expansion is very open and it's very accessible to your opponent. Right here we have Frozean putting the supply depot right next to the command center, allowing the SCV to spawn that much closer to the mineral line, and every little bit counts, especially in mirror matchups. I believe, whoa, okay, Really actually put his supply depot a bit further away from that command center. I'm not sure what he's thinking. Maybe it was a misclick. And we see that Frozean putting down the racks, and here Really is also putting down his racks as well. Just a little bit later than Frozean. Both players are getting that refinery pretty much at the same time, I believe. Yes, pretty much the same time. And again, going back to this map, I really don't like this map because this map is all about positioning, and there is that weird hill in the middle of the map, and that's just, for me, it's just different, shall we say. And now Really is going to send an SCV scout to the 4 o'clock position, but he's not going to find Frozean. And Frozean is going to send out an SCV scout of his own, and Frozean also putting down that factory. Ooh, that's only one SCV on gas for Really. Now that's very interesting. I believe Frozean has three SCVs on gas, so I think Frozean really needs to. Oh, that's very interesting. He pulled off that one SCV on gas. I assume he's going to go for some really tricky play. Maybe a starport? No, it can't be. It can't be. The Marines for Frozean chasing that SCV scout, denying. Oh wow. Okay, I see. Okay, Frozean chasing off that SCV scout, denying that additional information. Wow, Frozean putting down that starport. Sorry, going back to Really, he got his factory, and then I think he pulled his SCVs to get that extra mineral so that he could fast expand. That is very smart. He also put down that machine shop and has a filter out. Frozean also has a filter out, but he does not have that machine shop on his factory at the moment. However, he will have that tech advantage with the starport unless it's somehow countered by Really. And now the SCV scout from Frozean is able to see that fast expand. Yes, but the filter unfortunately takes it out, so he is not cannot get its scout into Really's base, and Really is still floating that barracks all the way over to Frozean's base, hoping to get some scout information. Frozean just shooting with his scattered Marines. I think Frozean really needs to do some damage with his starport harass, because unless he does, he's going to be very far behind in terms of economy. This is I don't. This is really interesting. Um, oh wow, wow. Okay. Um, with the vultures. Oh, that is just very unfortunate. With the vultures, they were just going. It was Frozean was actually sending his vultures and then attack. I believe they would auto attack against Really's vultures as well, but Frozean was able to slip a vulture into Really's base and got a glimpse of what's happening in there. Frozean putting down a bunker at the front of his base, and he also has his race out, and his control tower is also up, indicating that there will be cloaked wraiths, and really doing really good and putting down that armory. Going to go with the Goliaths to counter this. This is really interesting. We did see in game 1 how wraiths worked out for Frozean, and in this case I don't know if they'll be able to do as much because Frozean has not expanded, and he is going to be far economically behind if he does not do a lot of damage with these wraiths, and those SCVs trying desperately to get that engineering bay and keeping each other alive, which is very interesting. But however, really is going to put up that scan, and these cloak waves will be pretty much useless once those Goliaths come out. But yes, and the Goliaths do come out, and that engineer bay is up. And oh, Frozean committing to this Wraith harass, building 4 or 5 race at the moment, and really countering this with turrets. I don't know, this is just really interesting. We also have oh, finally Frozean is going to put down that expansion in his base, and Wraiths still cloaked Wraiths just trying to do some more damage, but really with really good micro, just moving him. Just as I say, he has really good micro. He loses 2 more SCVs, and those Wraiths are going to be chased away by those Goliaths. And oh, unfortunately for Frozean, he had to destroy his own bunker at the front of his base just to be able to get out. And now Frozean does have 3 tanks, as well as a small army, but on the other hand, really only has a bunch of Goliaths, and I don't know how well they're going to do against those tanks. I do assume Siege Tech is going to be out for Frozean. I'm not too sure about that. At the moment, I would say economically, really has the advantage, but I don't know, with the harass that Frozean did do, it might actually put them on the same level at the moment. Now both players are going to start going up, and here comes the SCV transfer from Frozean. Frozean's trying to get the most out of his race, coming back for some more harassment in cloak mode. Are they going to pick? Yes, they're going to pick off that SCV before he finished building that barracks, and I don't think that really matters too much. Just stopping the factory building for a while. Frozean is going to be warded off again by those Goliaths, and this Wraith harass is not working too well for Frozean, losing all but 1 of his Wraiths during the attack. We do see some more Goliaths. Oh wow, okay, a second expansion for Really, and I don't know. This game is pretty, I would say pretty, oh wow, 4 tanks out of nowhere. I think this game is pretty even, but I would give the advantage to Really, because Really does actually got his expansion much earlier than Frozean, and he also has a third coming up very soon. And Frozean committed so much into those rafes and doing just so little. He did a decent amount of damage, but I don't think it was enough to actually hamper Really's economic advantage. And now Really is going to send some vultures and going to be taking off some SCVs. I think that was a total of 5 SCVs for the 3 vultures, and that's just really good. And look at that nice trick. Really put down a mine so that Frozean would not be able to take his third. And now the red army of Frozean is venturing forward, and oh yes, he's gonna eat some mines in the face. Unfortunately for him, just rather careless there. Frozean, again, this is TVT, where positioning is all that matters, and right now, I think Really does have the map control in this game. He has, as if you can see on the map, Really does have half of the map split diagonally in his favor, and we have here Frozean trying to do some harass with those vultures, and but unable to do so. Really needs to push right now, because he does have the economic advantage, so he should be macroing up very strong. Oh nice, he got that first shot off with the scan from the siege tanks, and that's going to help a lot once the push starts, because in a mirror matchup every little bit matters, every little bit. Right now, what Frozean should be doing is just making sure he can get that secure his third, as he is doing right now, and then start macroing up, macro like flash, and because right now he is economically behind, so he needs to make up for that in terms of army size, and he needs that expansion to help with that. Right now, oh, okay, nice. Frozean is perched on top of the ridge, on the hill, and he's, oh yes, look at that position. Oh, unfortunately for Frozean, that shot from the siege tank took out 2 of his tanks, and you saw that there. Frozean did have a strong advantage there for being on the hill.